All right, let's dive into another listener question today.
Sounds good to me.
We got a question from one of our listeners asking, if someone says, I want to be born again, but I don't know how to go about it, how would you advise him?
Interesting.
That's a big question, right? Being born again. Where do you even start with that?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a pretty radical transformation, like whole new beginning kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So how would you advise someone who's looking for that kind of rebirth, I guess you could say?
Well, I think a good place to start might be with the idea of repentance.
Okay, repentance. Now, a lot of people might associate that with, feeling guilty or ashamed of past actions.
Right, but it's more than just feeling bad about what you've done. It's about a decision.
A decision.
Yeah, like a conscious choice to turn away from those things that are holding you back, the things that aren't serving you anymore.
So it's not just about dwelling on the past, but about actively moving forward in a new direction.
Exactly, like a course correction. You're on a path, maybe it's not the right one, and repentance is the point where you say, okay, I need to change direction.
I like that. A course correction. So we've got this idea of turning away from the old ways. But what about the being born again part? How does that fit in?
Well, that's where I think belief comes in.
Belief. Okay.
Not just belief in like a higher power or something, but actually putting your trust in something bigger than yourself, something that can guide you.
So it's like finding a new, a new source of strength, maybe, or a sense of purpose.
Yeah, all of that. It's like imagine you're lost in the woods
Right.
and you've been wandering around for who knows how long, and then you find a compass.
Ah, okay. So belief is like that compass. It gives you a sense of direction.
Exactly. It gives you faith that there's a better way, a more meaningful way to live, and trusting that this belief, this compass, will lead you there.
I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling of being lost,
Yeah.
searching for something more. But, when we talk about faith and belief, it can sound kind of abstract. Like, how do you actually cultivate that trust, that connection with something bigger than yourself? It seems like a pretty big leap.
Yeah. It is a big leap, and it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
But it starts with honest self-reflection, like really taking a look at yourself, your flaws, and your strengths, and doing it without judgment.
So acknowledging where you are, who you are right now.
Exactly. And then being open to the possibility that there's something more out there, something that can help you grow and change.
So it's about looking inward and then kind of looking outward at the same time.
Yeah, and being willing to let go of the things that are holding you back. Your old habits, your fears, all of that.
And just sort of trust that something good will come.
Well, it's more than just blind trust. It's about actively seeking that connection, through prayer, meditation, being out in nature.
So making space in your life for something bigger to enter.
Exactly. It's a process, and it takes effort.
So it sounds like this being born again isn't a one-time event, but more of an ongoing journey, a process of transformation.
Absolutely. It's a continuous process of growth and change. You might have moments of, sudden realization or clarity, but it's the commitment to keep moving forward even when it's hard that really defines this transformation.
Right. So it's about consistently choosing that new path, that new direction.
Yes. And being open to the possibility that you might not always know where you're going, but trusting that you'll end up where you need to be.
So for our listener who asked about being born again, it sounds like the first step is really taking stock of their life, acknowledging what needs to change, and then starting to cultivate that belief, that connection with something greater.
And remembering that it's a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, for sure. But the key is to keep an open heart and be willing to embrace the change, the transformation that comes with it.
That's a really powerful message. Hopefully it gives our listener and anyone else who's maybe struggling with this question a place to start, a way to think about what it really means to be born again.
Absolutely. It's a journey worth taking.
Well said. So if someone's listening and they're thinking, okay, I want to start this journey, I want to experience this transformation, what's one practical thing, one tangible step they can take today to start moving in that direction?
That's a good question. I think I would say start by setting aside some time each day, even just 5 or 10 minutes, for quiet reflection. No distractions, no phone, no TV, just you and your thoughts. And during that time, ask yourself, what is one thing I can let go of today that's holding me back? And then see what happens. You might be surprised by what comes up.
That's a great starting point. Simple but powerful. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in to another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.